Tab dash your blood, scream and fight, tiger flies at the lights. Every night you don't fight, favorite sight, vivid sights, baby shows and an escapade. Fancy arcade, pixelated party lesson, made unafraid. Karaoke screams, singing themes, heart and sleeves. Anime dreams, brushing seams, city gleams, dancing screams, endless streams, less extreme, Saturday gleams, so day gleams, so it seems nothing rings. Raid the channel, riot loud, crowd unbowed, techno sound, pulses pound, dream astound, youth unbound, joy profound, lost and found, channel raver on the prowl, echoes howled.
That was the most anime sounding song I had. It's about 2:47 here on the 5th day of August 2025. The sun has been out all day. Yes. And I've been celebrating my birthday week with friends and family. Jeff's Game Box sent me a link to this. Free League Games has decided to enter the JRPG market with the release of Twilight Sword, a JRPG, Japanese role-playing game inspired by Legend of Zelda, because they are Final Fantasy and Ni no Kuni. You will be exploring the world of Radier, exploring landmarks and collecting hope. That sounds familiar. By defeating bosses. This is a cross promotion. Twilight Sword is be making in conjunction with Two Little Mice, the Italian publishing company was purchased by CMON. Two Little Mice has made a couple games we've heard of. We don't know if this means they've gone independent again, or if this is some arrangement with CMON, since I believe CMON's also dealing with some problems. But it's a game where you play cute little animals and cute little people, and you go around the world and do anime stuff. I don't know how this really fits within the Free League Games portfolio, because most of their games are very dark and European. They did announce that they were doing an Invincible role-playing game earlier this year. I don't know what happened with that. They never mentioned it again. But, we've got Tales from the Loop and all its, we've got Vaesen, we've got Lord of the Rings, we've got Dragonbane. So they already had fantasy games, and now they're going to have Twilight Sword, a fantasy JRPG. And there is a Gen Con preview that was available to us. I'll post a link down below if you want to see it. It gives us a link to what the world will look like. Welcome to Radia, a project by Two Little Mice and Free League. So we got cat people, we got penguin people, we got elf people. It's an adventure role-playing game inspired by Legend of Zelda, Final Fantasy, blah, blah, blah. You are trying to travel around the world collecting hope while setting the world free from desperation. Hope and desperation. That sounds kind of familiar. The pillars of the game are travel the world, bring hope, fight monsters. Okay, here's the elf people. The races that are available are the elf people, the anthropomorphic cat people, the penguin people, the Strix, which I don't think we have a picture of, and the Toluna, which we also don't have a picture of. It doesn't seem to be any humans, though. It seems to be all animal inspired, and even if the one humanoid seems to be elves. Interesting art style, very working, living with the land. This might be one of the races. A lizard fit race. Oh, and I guess this is one of the bad guys. He's kind of cute, an undead kobold. And yeah, that's it. That's the whole preview. So we get to see 3 of the races. This might be one of the races. But we definitely get to see the cat people, the penguin people. There's the elf people, no humans. There's the cat people. Look at me bouncing around. I'm a cat. I'm cute. And then there's the penguin people who, for some reason, are super strong. I don't really associate penguins with super strong. I associate penguins with, being super agile, amazing survivability, and occasionally being really stupid. So yeah, does this fit the Free League portfolio? And is this a game people were crying out for? Did we want another anime-inspired JRPG to give Fabula Ultima a run for its money? and all the other vast collection of JRPGs that are here in the States, like Fabula Ultima and Golden Sky Stories and Teenagers from Outer Space and whatever else is out there that I don't know about that are anime-inspired games. I do find it interesting that it includes mechanics called hope and desperation, and doesn't seem to have any humans. We have a elf who looks a lot like Link. By the way, Link was, the male, but from Legend of Zelda. So yeah, I don't know. This is not something I saw on my Free League bingo card. It's not really a title I'd associate with Free League. It's not really a title I'd be interested in. If I wanted to get an anime-inspired game, I'd either go get Fabula Ultima, or I'd dig up my copy of Teenagers from Outer Space or Tinker's Dam, or I just take what fantasy systems I already have and use open source to make an anime-inspired JRPG. So it doesn't say what mechanics it's going to be using, whether it's going to be the U0 mechanics or some other mechanics unique to that. Is it going to use the Dragonbane mechanics? Is it going to use Year Zero? Don't know. Now, this is Free League, so they announced something, but we might not actually see it for another year, 2 years, because, they announced Coriolis, and we only just saw it come to print recently. They announced Invincible was going to be this year's Kickstarter. That was in January. Still haven't seen anything about Invincible. And now they're announcing this in the first week of August, which means we probably won't see anything from it till next year. It's weird how they always have these oh, look, it's ready. Here's all these art from it. But then, we don't actually see the game for a year or two. Now, Free League has made a couple of my favorite games. One of the few games that still sit on my shelf. Tales from the Loop, of course. And Electric State, of course. And Dragonbane, of course, all still sit on my shelf. Blade Runner, the role-playing game. But I don't know, as much as I love what they've made, I also understand that they're very touchy-feely, art-heavy games where you get 300-400 pages of just fluff and art. But when you actually take everything out and actually just find the mechanics, the actual product is 22 pages, and everything else is just fluff. And you're paying a lot of money for art and fluff and story and fluff and unnecessary chapters that basically don't, it's here's 3 chapters that could have been 1 chapter. So, and their product is always unbelievably expensive, $60, $50, $80. So, and I don't know if JRPG is their target audience, because most of their product are sort of dark and European and feel like the kind of games that would come out of Sweden and those places. But now we're getting a Sunset and Rainbows where you can have a player character anthropomorphic penguin. So, don't know. You tell me. Is this a game you're excited about? Anyways, I'll post the link to the preview down below if you want to take a look at it and look at, anime and anime titties and whatever else that we're going to see. Titolines and, I don't know, big, ridiculously huge anime swords and, calling out your attacks and maybe a giant mecha. Don't know. Now, more of the only thing that I have that sounds vaguely anime. Have a great day. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Electric beats, bustle streets, endless streets, midnight beats, living heat, hearts beat fleet, polyphonic needs, cyber beats, rhythm sweet, Saturday seats, beat retreats, makes us complete. Blazing trails, no fails, neon veils, waves of gales, color tales, joy sales, endless rails, like rebel, Saturday sale, we hail breaking jails. Break the town, riot loud, crowd unbound, techno sound, pulses pound, dream astound, youth unbound, joy profound.